Athens Academy is a private school approximately 4 miles from the University of Georgia's campus with demographics advertised as 17% minority enrollment with 956 students from 19 countries. Recently celebrating their 50-year anniversary, the school, according to their mission statement, seeks excellence with honor in the educational and personal experience of each student. Athens Academy also claims to be sensitive to the students' emotional and physical wellness in and out of the classroom and fosters respect for the heritage and beliefs of others. It is a school known for stellar academics and appears idyllic to me due to its beautiful campus and high standards. However, I find these claims stated on the Athens Academy website to be extremely interesting due to the school's connection to Morse Ford lynching and white flight. White flight is the phenomenon that occurred in the 20th century following the desegregation of public schools. Private schools do not receive state funding and thereby charge a high tuition rate. Generally, upper-class white families can afford this tuition, while most African American families could not. So, rather than allowing their kids to attend integrated schools, white parents enrolled them in private schools, effectively continuing segregation despite the Supreme Court's new civil rights mandates. Social patterns changed, and to avoid losing their tax-exempt status, private schools began to admit African American students in the late 20th century. Athens Academy originally existed and was founded as an alternative to segregated schools. However, their current rate of minority enrollment shows change has occurred. Morse Ford lynching is the most recent lynching in Georgia's history, a quadruple gunshot murder of two African American couples on July 25, 1946. We know it occurred in North Georgia on a bridge or dirt road, but the exact location is uncertain. One possibility is the land where Athens Academy now resides. Upon my first visit to Athens Academy, after school hours, the campus appeared slightly eerie due to its emptiness. I felt like an outsider, like I was going someplace I wasn't supposed to be. I walked around the academic campus, as well as the trails of the athletic campus, which slightly resemble a possible location of Morse Ford lynching. My preliminary contact with two members of Athens Academy potentially exemplifies their school's discomfort with race. First, my email contacting the dean of the school, explaining my exploration of the lynching of 1946, remains unanswered. In addition, I had an interviewee back out, strictly due to personal discomfort. She was afraid to say something that could be viewed as racist in any way. When scrutinizing the school, a careful eye may notice more African American kids alone or slightly removed from the group than white students. This is a slight observation and may be due to individual circumstance and chance rather than being reflective of Athens Academy's entire culture. And while I do not believe these examples provide enough evidence to say that Athens Academy and the people in it are segregated formally or informally, it still points to the difficulty of discussing race and culture today. I think it also suggests that while all schools permit African American students to attend their classes, their presence as a minority is felt and invokes cautious reactions. I do not believe this is due to the way Athens Academy conducts their school, but is instead a reflection of our society as a whole. Jacob Hudson, a student at Athens Academy from 2009 to 2016, allowed me to interview him on his experience at the school.
Of 77 people, we had 5 African Americans, so they were definitely a minority, but I don't think they were discriminated against in any way. I've actually heard of the Morse Ford lynching in one of my senior classes. It was pretty much just a class learning about the history of Athens. It wasn't my group, but another group, their project was the Morse Ford lynching, so that's how I've heard of it. Our headmaster was giving a speech for like this big ceremony, and he misspoke and said, instead of neighbors, he said nagers instead. And so after that, there was like 3 weeks on every Wednesday, they got all the African American kids in the school and just like had a meeting for them, made sure that they felt like they were in a safe place at the school and that they felt comfortable and that they could succeed at Athens Academy.
The headmaster's solution to his mispronunciation further shows how our society struggles reacting properly to incidents regarding race. By addressing only African American students in weekly meetings, the headmaster overcompensated and, in my opinion, probably made matters worse.
I wouldn't say, definitely not from the administration, like they never were staff, like they never were discriminatory to any specific race. But I mean, I'm sure just like at all other schools, there were students that had opposing beliefs to others and believed what they believed, and so that I guess that could be described as discriminatory just by in the way that they think. I would definitely say that like there were definitely the friend groups of the same races, but I wouldn't say that they were their only friends. I would say like people branched out, and Like some of my best friends were African American.
Jacob stereotypically uses his African American friends to justify that he is not racist. He, along with many members of today's society, define racism as the hatred of a specific racial group. However, someone can have unintentional racist thoughts, words, or actions without any feelings of distaste. Racism should be defined by effect, not intention. However, we avoid the traditional label of a racist like the plague, going out of our way to prove that we don't dislike anyone based on race. Like Jacob, one wouldn't be friends with African Americans if we hated everyone with dark skin.
The headmaster that I had, at least when I was there, tried to make everyone feel like they belong no matter what their interests were. And the teachers made everything welcoming in the classroom, so it was a good place to go to school.
Visiting the campus when it is all but deserted felt unnatural and unnerving. Yet, during school hours, with the bustling of busy students, these feelings dissipated. Judging by the students getting off the bus and all other interactions, there is nothing significant to the way the school is run or the students act that suggests Morrisford lynching occurred on their land. However, a general link to the civil rights movement and the implementation of private schools is much more apparent. I think, given my exploration of campus and interview with Jacob, Athens Academy reflects nationwide racial beliefs and reactions, not just local opinions. The American government has made huge improvements towards equality by making segregation, lynching, and any other acts of discrimination illegal. However, the current issue is within our culture. We do not view ourselves as racist, though many unconsciously participate in actions that seem small but actually have large consequences. One must keep in mind that racism is not an all or nothing issue. You can act in ways that may be offensive to another race without meaning to, and I do not believe that makes you what society defines as racist. However, these small, unintentional acts still can have an effect, so it is important to be mindful of what you say and do. To minorities, these actions can add up and make them feel like outsiders, like less of a citizen with human rights. While Athens Academy does not practice any direct racist tendencies, the actions of our culture persist through general discomfort in discussing race and the actions individuals partake in.